In other words, we have a situation now where Wall Street is not only too big to fail, they are too big to jail.
There should be no bank too big to fail and no individual too powerful to jail. We agree on that.
Keep the American people safe. It's the first thing that I think about when I wake up in the morning.
I wake up every day thinking about how best to protect America.
We can't count on a surrender ceremony.
There will be no surrender ceremony.
To disrupt, dismantle, and defeat Al-Qaeda.
To dismantle, disrupt, and destroy terrorists.
To deny the world's most dangerous people.
The world's most dangerous men.
Access to the world's deadliest weapons.
The world's most dangerous weapons.
But this standard is not a measure of how we can evaluate the condition of our society. It cannot measure the health of our children, the quality of our education, the joy of their play.
Yet the gross national product does not allow for the health of our children, the quality of their education, or the joy of their play.
Biden gave Kennedy no credit. He has also quoted or paraphrased John Kennedy, Hubert Humphrey, and British Labour Party leader Neil Kinnock, all without credit.
I am not asking anybody to take a chance on me. I'm asking you to take a chance on your own aspirations.
I'm not just asking you to take a chance on me. I'm also asking you to take a chance on your own aspirations.
And I started thinking as I was coming over here, why is it that Joe Biden is the first in his family ever to go to a university? Why is it that my wife, who's sitting out there in the audience, is the first in her family to ever go to college?
Why am I the first Kinnock in 1,000 generations to be able to get to university? Why is Glenys the first woman in her family in 1,000 generations?
Biden saw the Kinnock commercial and evidently loved it.
Was it because they were weak? Those people who could work 8 hours underground and then come up and play football? Weak?
My ancestors who worked in the coal mines in northeast Pennsylvania don't come up after 12 hours and play football for 4 hours?
When the history of this campaign is written, they may say, well, Bill Clinton took a lot of hits in this campaign. But I want you to know something. The hits that I took in this election are nothing compared to the hits that the people of this state and this country are taking every day of their lives under this administration.
You know, the hits I've taken in life are nothing compared to what goes on every single day in the lives. It's not because they weren't as smart. It's not because they didn't work as hard. It's because they didn't have a platform upon which to stand.
Anybody really think that they didn't get what we had because they didn't have the talent or the strength or the endurance or the commitment? Of course not. It was because there was no platform upon which they could stand.
I haven't spent most of my life in politics, which most of you know, but I've spent enough time in Washington to know how much we need to change Washington.
I haven't spent a lot of time learning the ways of Washington, but I've been there long enough to know that the ways of Washington must change.
While at Syracuse Law School, Biden was involved in a plagiarism incident. He quoted 5 pages of someone else's work without proper citation. He was given an F, but appealed to the faculty and allowed to repeat the course.
But her dismissive point, and I hear it a lot from her staff, is that all I have to offer is words. Just words. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men are created equal. Just words. Just words. We have nothing to fear but fear itself. Just words. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Just words. I have a dream. Just words.
Don't tell me words don't matter. I have a dream. Just words. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Just words. We have nothing to fear but fear itself, just words, just speeches.
It reminds me of the story about that little boy. You ever hear this story where, you know, a man walks by the barn and sees this little boy in his room filled with manure.
They opened the door, and there was the kid happy as a clam, throwing that stuff over his shoulders as fast as he could.
And he's standing there, and he's digging, and he's digging, and he's digging.
And they said, "What are you doing?"
And the man says, "Son, what are you doing?"
And he says, "There's got to be a pony in here somewhere."
The boy said, "Well, with this much manure around, there's got to be a pony, and I'm going to find him."
The notion that every thought or notion or idea you'd have to go back and find and attribute to someone, I think is, quite frankly, ludicrous.